Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today, my guest is Matthew Sutherland. He's one of the first people that I met in university, and we've stayed close together, being in the exact same program for the last 3 and a bit years. It's been cool to watch each other develop in this time, and this podcast is going to be the first of many together. Today, you can expect to learn about Western Engineering University experiences that we've had, how we are growing in and outside of the school environments, the role of AI in civil engineering, our future aspirations and goals, how we found our rhythm living on our own in university, the driving forces in our lives, and much, much more. Overall, this was just a good talk between two friends on a nice long walk. I think this walk was just over 7 kilometers, so it was some nice exercise, and it was just a lot of fun to record. Let me know your thoughts on the show, on going for long walks. I think it was a lot of fun. So, let me know how you feel in the comment section. Anyways, please enjoy. All right, we are live. Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is the second, person that I've had on the podcast. All the rest of them have just been kind of just me yapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have another person though? I thought you were doing it with friends.
I did do it with one friend. We went on a car ride.
Oh yeah.
Instead of a walk, but I was like, I think a walk is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
At least for me, all the best talks I've had have been on a walk or at a park or something. You're just like sitting down in a room. Can be good sometimes, but it's better to be on a walk.
Kind of get restless though.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And we get to see the London tweakers. Gotta love a good London tweaker.
Yeah.
Oh, we're coming up to a accident right now. Well, I don't even I don't see a car that's anywhere.
Maybe behind the... Oh, what?
Dude, this is a crazy London environment right now. Where do you see a car somewhere?
No, I'm just wondering if there's something behind the...
Yeah, it's hiding
Fire
behind the
truck,
fire
though.
truck.
Because that house looks okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Yep, that's flipped.
Damn.
Single car? How do you even get in that?
That's crazy. How in the hell do you do that? Dude, the car's literally just on its head.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
a car
what?
seat in there. That's a...
No blood?
No.
Damn.
Well, that's one way to start one of these.
Let's just flip up on the curb or something.
No skid marks, nothing. Just...
I'm guessing it just curbed and then rolled. Curb and roll.
Yeah, little curb and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take out the light.
Might have hit it though. It looks bent.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's crazy. All right. Well, Matthew, give me like 90-second rundown of like you, what's important to you right now, like what you're focused on,
Okay.
or history, whatever you want.
Yeah. Go on backstory from Calgary, doing civil AI with Owen.
Oh yeah.
Starting 4th year. What's important to me right now? I feel like just like staying healthy and active, trying to learn, and like I'm not really like trying to like prepare and plan for my future, so to speak, but I want to put myself in a good position. I feel like just doing the best in the moment right now is kind of what I want. So
Yeah.
staying active, staying healthy. I feel like that's why I like doing like varsity ultimate frisbee.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know. It's tough to say like about like work in the future. Obviously, I want something successful, but I don't know. It's tough to say what exactly that'll be.
Yeah, just setting yourself up. I feel that
Yeah.
for sure. So staying healthy, how are you doing that? What's
Like,
what's the fitness regimen right now?
well, I mean, I feel like with fitness, I've been saying this recently. It's hard to like stay on like a consistent plan. Obviously, if I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to, hit every like muscle group, but depends on what I'm doing. Like right now, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of walking and I'll be doing a lot of running. So I want to like build it around that, kind of play to my strengths and also what's kind of just easiest for me. I want to make my like schedule efficient, so I'm not doing as much like upper body stuff, but definitely trying to get my legs in. I
Get
feel
your
like,
shin splints to go away.
yeah, I've been struggling with that, but
How many times a week are you practicing?
uh, oh hey, it's
Is that-
Peter.
Oh, Peter. Fucking Peter.
Um, yeah, captain of the Steel Bridge team.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm also doing that. That's really fun.
build some steel
You should
bridges.
join.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I've been thinking about it.
It's like,
It's like, I feel like for a lot of clubs, the way that I think about it, maybe it's stupid, but if like 3 or 4 people that have been in it the whole time are just going to do all the work,
Yeah.
it's kind of just like a social thing anyway.
yeah,
And I don't know, that's what has generally turned me off of doing any clubs,
yeah.
but it would definitely be fun, a fun little social thing.
Well, yeah, but it's like, I got involved like 2 years ago in the summer, and now I'm an exec, and now I'd say I do a good portion of it.
Yeah.
I'm not too in tune with the designing, but it helps you understand like how like a full like engineering project goes through, and like how you can be helpful in part of it, and it's just good for like your resume too. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. What did you do in like the first 2 years other than day of events?
Right.
What were you involved with?
So yeah, I'm the drafting lead. I'll be doing it again this year. So I like to think of it as like we have like our analysis and like our, technical drawings that we've created of the bridge, with all the forces, and then trying to translate that into like actual physical materials, make it work out, take like the full analysis and then bringing it to 3D so that it's realistic. So just like, I don't know, making sure all the steel fits together.
So is that what you
Yeah.
did last year?
Yeah, pretty much. So just like padding, basically all it was. Figuring out also like joint connections. That was kind of my main thing. I don't think I did a very good job of it, but I mean,
Hey, you got this year now.
it's good learning. Yeah, it's better to have something like overly strain or like have unanticipated stress in something like that before you go out into the real world and do it for real.
That's true. So how many execs are there? Yeah, no, turn here. Dude, this fucking loud street.
Yeah. Let's see how much of that picked up, but
Dude, it's actually, these microphones are pretty good.
oh yeah,
Like,
I hope so.
yeah, me too.
Well, let's go down here and then
Yeah,
bridge across and then yeah.
swoop down.
Yeah.
Have not done this walk route ever.
Oh really? I used to bike here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Over
Dude,
the
remember the vibe on that?
Yeah.
Those stones?
I want to get on top of that bridge one time.
Dude, if it was deep water, 100% I would. That's such a fun bridge to climb. That's a good climbing bridge.
Yeah. I wonder how long that thing's been up.
I'd say at least 6 years.
Yeah. But I mean,
Probably
like,
even longer.
we got like a scaled down project of this, which is like,
We're looking at a bridge right now in London. It's type of bridge is that Prater.
that would be a Pratt truss.
Yep.
Yeah, sloping inwards, so that means the diagonals are in tension.
Yep.
Tops are in compression, and then those middle pieces would be doing a dual compression and tension as the train.
Dude, they put
cross.
zero force members in there. It pisses me off.
Where?
Crazy. On far left side, see the diagonal that goes, and that makes the vertical one also zero force.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's just a buckling support though, because that's full compression.
Yeah. Steel bridges.
Gotta love them.
Gotta love them. So how many like execs are on the team?
So-
Like how many people are actually doing stuff?
We have
I know there's like the welders and stuff.
Yeah.
And What do like members of the team do?
So yeah,
Free mattress.
sweet. Yeah, so we have like right now we have 2 head captains. They kind of involve themselves with everything along the process and then working from like start to end of the project. We have a marketing exec. Won't say any names, but she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good thing you're marketing the bridge.
Yeah. I've been running the social media. It's her job, but I don't know. She just doesn't do anything. Or he. It's a woman. Then there's
That narrows it down in engineering. So you gotta be careful.
There's design and analysis lead. I wasn't saying that because she was a woman. It was just she is just an individual.
Just an individual.
Design and analysis.
So
yeah.
Design? Yep.
Design analysis. So design's coming up with our design alternative. So the rules actually released last night, and
new rules just dropped.
Yeah, new rules just dropped. So they give us like the template for the bridge. It's like scaled down, where the footings go, what kind of like envelope the bridge can take. So I mean, last year we couldn't have anything above the stringers. Stringers just being where like you would anticipate your load. And then just kind of like the envelope beside it. So how far out wide can you build from the stringers? How tall the bridge can be? Stuff like that. So yeah, they're in charge of like figuring out design alternatives, kind of selecting the best one, just based on, constructability and weight and, how feasible it is. And then analysis is taking that design. Analysis lead, they'll take the design, analyze that using, hand calculations, and then
big hand calculators.
Yeah. Also like online, or not online, like computer tools like SAP 2000.
They're not using the one that we used last year for our bridge?
No. The bridge.
I forget what that...
Builder 2016
yeah.
or something. Yeah, does not have like the material selection that you want.
Does not surprise me.
Yeah. Well, that thing was completely fake. I was looking at it because there was a second year. The analysis lead actually is doing his thing. And yeah, it's just complete BS.
Just complete lies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and then there's I figured as much as it bent.
Yeah.
As a truck went over the bridge.
Yeah.
Made like a full U.
Well, I mean, like when you look on like the analysis things, they always amplify the deflection like that just to kind of model and show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had like a truck driving over it, which was pretty bullshit. Yeah, and then there's me, so drafting, taking analysis, and then moving it to fabrication. Then we have our fabrication lead. He's just in the shop welding, getting members to weld. And then we have like, finance lead and logistics lead. So they're just handling, sponsorships and make sure we can pay for our trip and making sure we can get out. Our competition's in Manitoba, Winnipeg this year.
Manitoba.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go, honestly, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The location of those things is also another reason that I haven't been in a lot of clubs, especially because they're all during the summer pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm making my money. So
yeah,
gotta get my money up, not my funny up during those times. And
yeah,
it's that was dude. I actually did the transportation club thing that was started. That Michael started. I did the traffic bowl this summer, which is like the Jeopardy for traffic. It was an interesting event. I'll tell you that. It was with the guy that you sat next, Ahmed, and a second year, or I guess not a third year. No, he was I don't remember his name. I want to say Abdul, but I feel like that might be racist.
Okay. I have a clue. Does he wear glasses?
He does wear glasses.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, it was the three of us. None of us studied. None of us prepared. And I was really counting on the graduate student to carry the team. He did not know much.
Yeah, he's kind of a yapper.
Kind of a yapper, but it was good. I met some people from different schools. That's the one thing that I would say is good with the club, meeting people from other schools and stuff.
Yeah.
I found this kid from BC who worked for like an equivalent job that I had in Vancouver.
Uh-huh.
And it was cool to talk to someone who also did that.
Yeah. Knew the struggles.
Yeah. But yeah, during the event, it was a rough. Our goal was to stay above 0. We went up to like 400 off of my knowing a street sign. It was like, what animal is on? Oh, I forget the exact wording. But it's basically what animal is on a street sign along with a carriage or something. And I was like, what is a horse? And I was right. So I got the points.
Let's go.
Went big up, and then made like 2 more guesses in the later rounds when we were like already getting destroyed by UBC.
Yeah.
And we went a little bit negative, but it's all right. I got one right.
Oh, so you were like the Western team.
We were the Western team, and the only reason we had a team was because it was at McMaster.
Oh.
I literally just drove there.
Yeah.
In the middle of a work day.
Nice.
And like I did some work in the morning, drove there to the event, came home, did a little bit more work.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the only club other than like WSCE.
Yeah.
The civil society. Yeah. Just because those ones are such low barrier, low maintenance. You don't really have to do much.
Well, like honestly, for Steel Bridge, like I know it seems like a lot, like you're going through the entire design, but general member, it's kind of just whatever you can do. Like you can definitely get involved in fabrication if you want. You just kind of have to show up and talk to like the fabrication lead. It's Connor this year, but I know Isaiah will probably be doing most of it since he was fabrication lead last year. He's like the captain now.
Bridge.
So.
This would be a fun bridge to climb.
I've went up it.
You went up it?
Yeah.
Oh. Like up and over, like fully?
Yeah, I've done the whole across.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is a nice bridge. This would be your I guess it's just X'd all the way through. I was gonna say this would be a Parker truss, but
yeah, no, it's just straight. These are just it's literally just these are all just...
Yeah. I mean, technically, yeah, those are 0.4s, but it's arched all the way through, so yeah. I don't really know what you would consider for there'd just be some type of distribution there. I think it's technically indeterminate, but
dude, we're gonna learn how to do this.
Yeah. Indeterminate's gonna be it'll be like hard, but I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah. I don't know how what's like your conception of like book smart versus street smart, because you say it's going to be hard, but we're both, I would say, relatively good at doing school.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be that hard, but I also feel like I'm dumb. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel the same way. I don't know. It's just like difficult as in like, I like to think difficulty would be like conceptualization. I think everything up until now has been pretty like straightforward, you know. You come to understand compression and tension.
From what I understand, everything's going to be straightforward until you go graduate level, and I don't plan on going graduate level. So
yeah, that's true. Man, fuck that joint, hey.
Dude, that's why I stopped here. It's crazy. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 7 members meeting at one point.
Yeah.
In the middle. For what? Dude,
imagine the sheer analysis of that plate. It's just probably like all over the place. Yeah. This is interesting. I wonder, this must be in...
Dude, what's the moment of inertia of this?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It must be pretty good. I mean, I-beam.
Well, they just kind of added this to, I guess, prevent buckling.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah. Well, that would increase your moment of inertia by whatever.
You're looking at like a plus sign.
Yeah, just a plus. What's the moment of inertia of a plus? I don't know. And then you would anticipate, this also has pretty good moment of inertia, assuming it's like that, but you can see it would buckle pretty easily like this.
Dude, there's 0 force in that member.
That's probably a 0 force. I mean, I think this bridge is pretty well for show. There's also everything under it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bridge on top of a bridge. Yeah.
We're moving into foreign land. The only time I've ever come this way is like on the way to Junction in second year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do the walk down this way.
Isn't there a park somewhere down here that like, oh, there's a map up there. Let's go look at the map.
Sweet. Yeah. Like, yeah, if you wanted to learn design analysis, even just SAP, you can just come sit in on the like SAP meetings. It's not
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, like the club fee is like $20, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah. Oh,
well, we're on the
Park.
other side, right?
So we are like,
No,
over
it's flipped
here.
upside down. So like, yeah, we just crossed the bridge, and if we kept walking there, this would be
No, it's not upside down.
well, like north is that way.
Yeah, north is up.
Yeah, so it's behind us.
Yeah, there's a big comedy festival at this park in the summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like,
So is this park just closed then, though?
I guess so. You can go back on this side.
Because if we walk up here, this eventually gets to Gibbons, I think.
Oh, do you want to go to Gibbons then?
Yeah, I think Gibbons, and then we can walk through Western on the way back or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Labatt Park. Do they have free beer there? That's what I want to know.
Oh, is that a cannon?
That's what I was looking at. It's like a.
Oh no, it's an artifact.
Oh, it's part of the bridge, part of the original bridge, I guess.
Yeah. What is that though? Is that just like it's like foundation? I guess that's the closest you can get to like a pin support. It's pretty cool.
That pin be taking all sorts of shear.
Yeah. Well, go down this way.
Let's go. All right. What else, if anything, do you consider yourself like an expert in? You seem pretty expert at bridges,
Yeah. I mean,
small scale steel bridges.
yeah. Poker. No.
Poker.
Um,
Crazy.
I don't know right now. I mean, I did like the construction coordination, but I feel like anybody could do that. It's just experience. I think that's kind of a big thing with kind of my like mindset right now. I don't want to like really specialize in anything because I think if you want to like succeed in the industry, you really just need the experience. So I'm always looking to like learn from somebody else who knows a little bit more. Like Peter, like the guy that we just drove by, he is like if I'm good at steel bridges, he's like really, really good.
Is that
He
the guy
knows,
with the
like-
really long?
Yeah, he cut his
curly
hair,
hair?
but yeah, he had
Oh.
long curly hair.
Dude,
Yeah.
he goes to Melena's church.
Oh, really?
I've seen him there.
Yeah, he's getting married in April.
Oh, good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, I guess that was his fiance in the side. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice guy, but he's like, I don't know. I think he took a degree before. Like I think he's 97. His birth year. Yeah. So he's pretty old.
Yeah, that's 1 year older than my oldest brother.
Yeah.
He's like 27, huh?
Yeah.
That's
yeah, he's
crazy.
old. 26, 27.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. I feel like I surround myself with so many older people. I feel so much older than I am.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just always around my brother, his friends, and they're all like 26, 27. I'm like just squinching to 20 years old.
Yeah.
Not just, I'm almost 21, I guess.
You hang out with a bunch of like high school friends when you're back in
Sort of, but most of them have moved away, or like one of them's in Kingston year round.
Yeah.
We see him like once a year. Another one is kind of just like, I don't know. He's there sometimes,
Yeah.
but we'll see him every once in a while. And then I had a friend at Waterloo who's the one that came on first, Alex, and we see each other pretty often, but we're never living in the same city.
Yeah.
It's always like he's in Waterloo while I'm in Oakville, or I'm in London while he's in Oakville,
Yeah.
and never works out. But then I got another friend who just does online school, and he's there year round.
Yeah. Find it
Busy.
odd to like go back to
To Calgary.
Calgary and then I don't know, just like friend dynamics change, and then like even when you meet somebody that you used to know at school, it's like you get like the hey, hello, how you doing
Yeah.
conversation. Then past that, it's like I don't really know you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Just part of growing up. Like just like I don't know, being in high school, it's like that's kind of all you have. And it's weird to think now, like we've only been through like probably like a quarter of our life, which is kind of crazy thinking about. Like
Yeah.
already a quarter. That's
Dude,
quite a large portion, but also we have so much.
dude, I saw an interesting thing the other day. It was like, so you know how 1 year of a 5-year-old's life is like 20% of their life?
Yeah.
But 1 year of a 40-year-old's life is a different percentage that I'm not going to try to figure out right now.
1/40th. We'll call that
Yeah.
2 point something.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, as your life gets like goes further and further, it's like 1 year is worth less of your life.
Yeah.
So half of you, if you look at it as like a graphical thing where it's like diminishing, half of your life is really when you're like 20, because the perception of time for those 20 years is more than the rest of the perception of time of the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So-
interesting. Yeah.
That's like a scary thing to think about if you're gonna do that like equivalency. 'Cause
Yeah.
that means we're at like halfway point of our
Perception.
perceived life.
Huh.
Like time wise, yeah, it's not
It's
halfway.
only a quarter.
Then again, yeah.
Probably a bit more. I don't think I want to really think about living 80 plus, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I'm like super healthy, but
Yeah, that's why I keep working out, and
yeah.
it's not as much what you're doing, it's that you're doing something.
Yeah.
Dude, they've got some fucking houses in here.
Yeah.
Just walk past like a full city and that guy's tweaking. He's on
Nice.
the couch, just got that fent walk. Crazy. Oh, the London homeless problem. You have any thoughts on that?
I mean, like, I don't know. We talk about affordable housing in our project management classes. And like, I don't consider myself a very political person, but I don't really know
I don't
what.
think it has to be a political issue.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a time issue. Like, I don't know, economy, and I feel like there's going to be a huge, like, structural change in just how we're living in general. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say. I feel like nobody really knows of any kind of solution.
Yeah, I seen one in like Texas.
Yeah.
This guy who used to be like a hedge fund manager or something, was like, fuck this. I'm not having fun here.
Yeah.
Started a homeless community where he just basically built 400 tiny homes.
Yeah.
And just cycles, like brings like homeless people from Texas into like the community and like gives them, all right, these are the new rules. You now have a home. You can start up a business, whatever you like in this community. And he's like, yeah, it's like a 90%, 10%, 90% are like fully peaceful. 9% are like cause problems a little bit. And then 1% is like, they're trying to fuck with other people.
Yeah.
So it's like a mostly peaceful, mostly like fully integrated back into, like a lot of people, they just didn't have the opportunities
Yeah.
or whatever opportunities they did have. They didn't make the right decisions and now they're just living in regret.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's some people like that 10%, 1% that would just be like permanently trying to self-sabotage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of just how it is, you know?
Yeah.
They were the 10% before, so they.
Yeah. It's like, and then that 10% has another 10% that's
Yeah.
like the 1%.
Exactly.
And yeah, I feel like that would be really cool to be able to like run something like that. That would be a very good impact, but that would be so difficult and very, I don't know about risky, but
Well,
there's not like,
it's kind of just dependent on what like you want to do too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's so many things that I feel like that you could do, and there's so many like paths you could take. But I'm
Yeah.
sure like the guy who did that, you know, he found his happiness in that. But personally, like, as much as I would want to help a bunch of other people, I don't think I want to. You know, I'd rather spend my time. I don't know. I was talking about like crazy idea scenario. I just want to go build like a climbing gym.
true.
And just like run my own small business off that. And I mean, like, I don't know if that's like kind of like ignorant, but I don't know, just my own thing, you know?
Dude, 100% that is possible.
Yeah.
There's something there. Climbing gyms, especially with their rise in popularity. Like, there's so many people that I would not have, like, expected to be climbers that
Yeah.
I talked to them over the summer and they're, I was climbing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
damn.
gotten pretty popular with the Olympics too.
Yeah.
The Olympics are actually in like a crazy shitty situation. Have you seen like the economics of the Olympics? It is like one of the like most like debt taking thing. It's like it's so bad. Like a city or a country will take it on and just lose like it seems like billions of dollars,
Yeah.
which is like I don't know. I guess it's like if you consider that worth it, but it doesn't seem very like sustainable. I don't know.
A lot of countries, they can just be like, I don't understand a lot. I'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah.
But what I see is a bunch of people that just like can be like, $10 billion. It's not my money, it's the country's money, but I'm spending it on behalf of the country so I can spend it however I want.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that seems like it's inevitable there's going to be some bad actors there
Yeah.
taking some money.
Did you see the prize for Kazakhstan? So like each country will offer their individual athletes, you know, like a certain amount of money or something.
Like if they win,
medal. Kazakhstan, it was if you get bronze, you get a 1-bedroom apartment. If you get a silver, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. And if you get a gold, it's a 3-bedroom apartment.
Crazy Kazakhstan.
There's so many Borat memes that I saw with that, but king of the castle.
King of the castle, king of the castle.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, a skeet, skeet.
Yeah. At my job, we were just watching all the different Olympics. So nice to see like somebody who's put in like so much time into a sport. It's kind of like fucking nuts if you think about it. Like, could you imagine like training your entire life to do like hammer throw?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. Just like, but at the same time, I guess like if you just find the joy in it.
Yeah.
But
It's
then,
also
like, becoming the best. Yeah.
Yeah. I've a lot of the content that I like consume is around like people trying to like get to the pinnacle of whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I just find that always super fascinating.
Uh-huh.
And stuff like that. Any sort of Olympic competition, it's comes down to basically who's willing to sacrifice their life the most in pursuit of this one individual thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what it comes down to. And I just find that I have not found anything that I would just sacrifice everything in my life for. Like,
Yeah.
But that's how you become the greatest at something.
Yeah.
And
Tennis.
I
I want to play some tennis. I used to take lessons.
did. I played tennis like 4 times. There's so many sports that I played like 4 times.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, you're like with friends or something. Like
Yeah.
pickleball,
Yeah.
tennis. Like,
I've
I
always
would not
been,
be good at it.
I've always been with sports. Like I'll try a new one and I'll I'll take lessons and like try to actually learn it. I feel like I genuinely pick up on stuff
Yeah.
pretty quickly and I can get like good at stuff pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part just because I've like tried to teach myself to like learn the right way towards stuff. And I mean, that helps.
Give me some insights. This podcast is called Owen Learns to Learn. So I'm
Oh yeah.
trying to, well, for now, it's a pretty
Yeah.
shitty name, but trying to find something. I was like, I got to put something down.
Yeah.
Hopefully some inspiration comes. But yeah, I feel like learning new skills, I've even found it, as a kid, you can pick up on stuff super quickly.
Yeah.
Like, and the more you pick up on more new stuff, the better you get at picking up on more new stuff. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
it just accumulates like that. But what tricks have you learned to like pick stuff up faster and easier?
Yeah. Well, like,
And also starting to try new things, because that's another thing that's
yeah.
not very easy.
Like just what you were saying about like being a kid, how I think it's like easier to learn, especially with like languages. You know, if you're a kid and you're exposed to a
Yeah.
bunch of different languages, you get to learn it quicker. But I like to think like I try to keep my mentality as like a little kid. Like I was trying to learn Chinese with my roommate, and he said like after like a week, he's like, "Oh, you're like a little Chinese baby," because I would just say like simple phrases. I don't know. That would, I guess, a Chinese baby would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what China. So like, I don't know. I
There's
think
a
like
Bible verse on that.
right there is.
Yeah, it's like he who is not of a child. I'm completely bungling this, but
Yeah.
it's basically he who is not of a child will not inherit the kingdom or something like that.
Huh.
It's like basically you have to just keep like humbling yourself down to the perception level of a child,
Yeah.
because that's how you learn the fastest. You know who Robert Greene is? Like
I've heard that name.
48 Rules for Life.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 48 Laws of Power.
Sure.
That's the one.
Okay.
He's got another book called Mastery, and that's a big emphasis he puts on in the book. If you're learning a new skill, you have to put yourself as like a child, like like a dependent of whatever you're trying to learn. Especially for languages, there was this guy, like the 40s or 50s, who went to an uncontacted tribe and was trying to, as a 40s or 50s guy does, tries to translate the Bible to them.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to learn their language. And their language was just so fundamentally different than any other language.
Yeah.
It had been like 50 years and no one could learn their language, like of like 6 different groups of people that tried to go do it.
Yeah.
And then this guy went and he's like, all right. He was there for like 2 years and then was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I have to try something new. I'm literally just going to become a toddler and integrate myself fully in everything they do. Their dialogue for hunting was different than their dialogue around the campsite. 2 completely different languages.
It's crazy.
And they had no language for anything in the future or anything in the past.
It was all present.
It was all present.
Wow.
And like, so everything you already know would not work.
Yeah.
If you're doing that. And I just thought that was a crazy story, and it's definitely true. If you're trying to like pretend you're a kid or think you're a kid, you're gonna learn so much quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think about like what's like the like want to learn new things. I think like part of it is if I can learn more things, I'll have an easier time learning stuff in the future.
Yeah. It's like gym bro reference.
Yeah.
It's literally just getting some reps in on learning.
Yeah. Exactly. Learning.
2 sets of learning.
Yeah. And I enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning Korean right now, and it's like, it's very interesting to see.
Are you only doing Duolingo, or are you trying to learn it other ways?
I'm
like,
gonna
I know you can talk
start,
to your girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I mean like,
that's basically my 2 sources of learning right now too.
I'll really just like, if I want to know something in Korean, I'll ask it, and I ask it again and again because I keep forgetting. It's hard to like remember because subconsciously I'm always trying to translate, but you have to get into the mindset of it's like, this is the only thing that you know in this language. So yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes like trying to like balance it kind of within your mind.
Oh, they got a bike like
rack.
repair. I didn't know those existed.
Really?
No, a bike repair rack.
Those are pretty common in like Alberta, I feel like. That's nice to see though. Good to know. Somebody's gonna be stealing that equipment though pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they got some heavy duty chains on it though.
Yeah. Oh. One buzzsaw though.
One buzzsaw.
They'll find one, I swear. I had to like buzz off my somebody had put another lock on my locked bike on campus.
At Western?
Yeah.
When?
This was last year, right after the school year ended, and we were like doing build practice. I was like, okay, we're all done. It was late at night. Came out and there's 2 locks on my bike. I'm like, what? Luckily, I'm coming out of the machine shop. So we just took a grinder and just destroyed the lock.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've always thought about doing that, just as a devious person.
Yeah, I saw like a clip of somebody saying, do you know how much power you hold with a bike lock? Like,
I know.
Yeah. Just so many things you could screw up. Yeah. But I mean, got it off, so I was fine. It's kind of a play though. If you're like looking to steal something long term, just lock it up and then you got so much more time to figure it out. Yeah.
Just put your own lock on it. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, so what else about learning is
Yeah, I was
back
just
to Korean?
well, I don't know about like for Korean, but I was gonna say in general,
In general, yeah.
I feel like learning more things, like getting your reps in, it also improves your ability to learn other stuff too. I find like school is the greatest example.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like taking time to like, a lot of people, I feel like in class, they don't learn. They just come to like study a specific subject, not necessarily retain the knowledge, but just use that time to focus on that thing and trying to just like apply it to like I don't know, other stuff. Like if you know like your fundamentals from first year, I feel like it makes our courses so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking like John at the end of class. I was like, I don't want to integrate. He's like, you take like 2 classes of it. I'm like, yeah, well, I know how to do it, but like I can simplify it like this. And he's like, well, fair point.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I can integrate. I got a pretty good like mark in that class. But at the end of it, it's like, if I understand how it works, then I can figure out how to simplify it.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of just goes with like most things that you learn, and you can apply, you know, different principles of one thing to another. Like, I don't know, my buddy Avery is like the captain of the Frisbee team. He's been going through a breakup. When we play poker together, and I'll give him some poker references. I'll try to like, I don't know.
Dude, it's always good, I find, with connections.
Yeah.
I got Duncan to show up to the AI class yesterday by giving him a good gambler reference.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, class is basically like gambling. You might get rinsed for 2 hours, but if there's like 20 minutes of good information that you can take from,
Yeah.
it's like you just got a blackjack.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was talking about like being card dead in poker. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just card dead. You just need to be dealt some good cards.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's like I find a lot of the stuff that I'm school learning, the reason I'm taking myself upon something like this, like a podcast, to try to learn, is I feel like with anything that's in class, I'm quite good at learning it for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what basically you're taught to do in school, is just learn something for 8 months, forget it for 4 months, try to remember it again somehow, and just like, it's just got to be a consistent like learning.
Yeah.
And even with, remember when we memorized all the flags, all the countries?
Yeah. Yeah, if I go back to that now, I can't do it all. But I mean, like, still, like, I have retained part of that knowledge.
Yeah, you've retained part of it. You got like, I would say I'd probably get like a 90 on, I think flags I'd still get 100 because those are just really easy.
Okay.
But countries, it's always like I'll forget, oh, what country am I missing in this area?
Right.
And that. But I've definitely gotten worse at it because I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
But like spam learning, you're going to atrophy a little bit of information.
Yeah.
But you keep a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to keep like going up, losing a little bit, going back up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do a consistent just shoot upward. I don't know if that's even possible.
I don't think it would be completely possible. Like, if you wanted to, like we can go and learn. We know that we can go and learn all the countries and, you know, memorize them. Like, we've done it.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like the ability to constantly be able to like apply it as well. And that's why I like, you know, clubs like Steel Bridge, because I'm integrating like certain parts of stuff that you learn. Even like, you know, Moore circle from whatever, second year. Like, it still comes up quite often. And like, I won't lie, I don't fully remember exactly what was going on with that thing.
Yeah, I don't even remember that like axes of a Moore circle.
Yeah. Something about, I don't know.
There's like some sort of shear in it, I think.
Yeah. It's about shear. Finite element shear based on the angle. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, what is all this stuff? They like spray foamed grass.
I don't know.
Is this like the new type of seeds?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I guess they did just repave all of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bridge. Did we just pass the bridge?
Yeah, my house is just like over there.
Okay. Yeah. The bridge, it was completely closed off when I was walking here. Actually, when I met you for the first time this school year, like just walking by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that bridge was closed?
No, this like pathway though. I had to walk all the way in the grass and then walk all the way around. Yeah.
It's a nice little park.
Yeah, I really like
Walked
Gibbons.
it a few times. Where did we go? Remember with you, me, and Josh down by the river?
Oh, I think it would have just been down one of these paths.
Yeah, I think it was right at the end though.
Yeah.
Some
Ooh,
good walks.
we could go check out another nice bridge. I don't know if it'll extend our walk, but it's kind of like
Free barbecue.
I did a barbecue here with I've done 2 barbecues. Not for everybody. My roommate did one with like a bunch of his friends. I tagged along, tossed a frisbee for a while.
Nice.
And then Josh did one over the summer when I was doing research. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is such a strange thing that, like, I was looking back through my parents, like I've only ever done barbecues like this just as like family gatherings.
Oh yeah.
And it's weird that eventually you start to become the one to host them. I'm like, even fine with like hosting something at my own house is such a strange thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a house I can just have people over to.
Yeah. I feel like that's something I'm kind of like bad at is I don't, like, it's something I feel like I need to do. I'd like take more initiative in terms of like, I guess just like project management really. I find it a lot easier to like be part of a system, but to actually run one is like completely different thing, you know?
Yeah.
Organized. People are like built to do that, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of people are stuck not knowing what to do, and a lot of people are, I really know what to do, but there's too much to do, so I gotta start telling people what they should be doing.
Yeah.
And it's like getting your reps in of telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Like getting other people to do stuff is
Yeah. And then I don't know, there's always like the social worry if it's like, am I being too narcissistic or am I being too, I don't know, controlling?
yeah.
That's always something I'm always like worried about. I try to like,
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's a big struggle I've always had is worrying what other people think.
yeah.
Which is such an irrational, like, it's so built into like humans' DNA to like worry what other people are thinking. And it's such a not being able to not do that is a very big skill. That's like the skill of, it's almost like a skill saying no to people too.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like if someone asks you, hey, are you busy? It's like implying that if they have something for you to do and you're not busy, you have to do it.
Yeah. 10 cents?
Full, no, this is full.
Oh.
Just a full, I'll let a homeless person find it.
Nice.
Crazy. Full beer, just sitting out.
Oh, love London.
Yeah.
Miss the mountains, man. You gotta come to BC sometime.
Dude, I do.
Or Alberta.
Yeah.
I was trying to, it was funny, I was trying to get like a, Josh ended up contacting me, with Miguel. I don't know if you've actually met Miguel.
I don't know.
It's one of Josh's friends.
Mm.
And then Christian. I guess Kyle wasn't able to, but, they like, I think it was Josh, Miguel, Michelle, and Christian. They wanted to like come out to like Alberta, and Josh and Miguel were kind of like planning it initially. They're like, yeah, we can like come out, stay at your place for a few days, because I had offered, we'll rent a car and blah, 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 we'll travel here. And then Josh ended up having like an issue with his,
his passport.
Yeah, and he couldn't come. And it was only Christian that wanted to come, which was really like I'd love to have him out. I don't know, I think Christian's a bit of a interesting character. He's nice, but I mean, and then he still wanted to like come out, but it was like he wanted to come out for a week. He can't rent a car because he doesn't have a license. It's like, I'm like, I don't think I can like host you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your chaperone for a week. Oh, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm not very well traveled, and traveling has just never been like a priority for me
Yeah.
for whatever reason. I just,
Well, it's like
I don't know if it's
great.
like I don't feel like I deserve it, or like I don't
Feel the need to.
feel the need to, but it's like everyone's always talking about, oh, travel while you're young, but I feel like it's, I don't know, maybe you get some interesting, cool new experiences,
Yeah.
but I feel like if I spend my time now just like a lot more focused on setting myself up for the future,
Yeah.
it would be a lot more satisfying for me to be like well set off to like give kids a good trip or something
Yeah.
instead of just like a trip for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm always constantly trying to like I find try not to do the selfish thing, even though I do quite a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I just try not to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, I feel like any time that I'm like scrolling or watching something, I just feel like that's such a selfish thing to do. I could be working on doing something for future me or for like my kids in the future or something. Like I could be doing more.
Yeah.
Like I'll short term maybe regret doing more work, but in reality, you never really regret doing more work.
Yeah.
You'll
That's
always
true.
regret doing less work though.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I haven't really traveled. I haven't been outside of the continent, technically. I went to Honduras, which was pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's
So
also
that was on like a trip where you're doing something like
yeah,
you're building something there, right?
exactly. Yeah, no, we were designing like a water system for a community of,
Yeah,
it
so like,
wasn't very big, like 600 people. And, we did like future projections of the village, and then just what the water demand was, and then how we could silo the pipes so that the head loss would be sufficient in order to distribute water everywhere.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that, like a missions trip or something that I would deem worthy of
Traveling.
a travel.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of people just travel to travel, and that's just not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I could see it as like an experience thing, like learning like a different culture. It might help you understand different subjects in like a different light. Like my roommate definitely has like a lot of different like just perspectives on anything, and even just like his like living habits are a lot different than anything that'd ever be useful. I think like yourself, I'd consider you a very individual person.
Yeah.
Like, you will choose to share stuff with people that you would consider fairly close, but like in terms of like even like how you guys like split like your fridge and like the cabinets, like you guys all have your own stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with my roommate, I know it's just us two, we live a lot more collectively,
Mm-hmm.
Like we have one laundry card, and it's not like, we don't think like, oh, you just filled it up for $25. No, it's my turn. We don't take turns. It's whoever's down there, whoever.
Yeah, I feel like it's for our house at least, it gets a little bit into like an echo chamber of if someone else starts acting more individually, you are inclined to start acting more individually.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just be able to, like, I love that idea.
Yeah.
But then you just get someone who's gonna like not rip you off, but not contribute their fair share.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's also what you consider fair, though. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, yeah, like your perspective on it is like a fair share. But I like me, if I'm feeling more productive and my roommate has dishes that need to be done, I'll do them.
oh, me too. It's like,
But like, I'll see myself like stretches of weeks from like, doing the dishes and throwing out the garbage. And there's some weeks where it's like I'm really like cramping down, and maybe we're both in like a bit of a messy living situation.
I feel like it's got to be a balance of somehow. Like you can't just fully go community mode, but you also can't go fully individual. It's got to be some sort of balance.
Yeah.
Like, I find the reason that I am so individual in this sort of house, well, one, I'm the largest person. So I feel like if it was between everybody, I know I would eat more, and I would feel guilty for eating more
Yeah.
of everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
I have the same thing that I get every day, like food-wise, so it doesn't make sense for everyone to go like if we're all going in on sugar and I don't ever eat sugar once ever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, why am I contributing to that if I'm eating the same thing every day?
Yeah.
But at the same time, on like cleaning and stuff, I'm all for, oh, you're busy this week? Yeah, sure. I'll get like, I'll clean the stuff. Like, that's fine with me. It's just not, it's the expectation that someone else will do something for you that really pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just like, if you're constantly just leaving something out, like to be cleaned up every single day, and you're just like not even asking someone, hey, could you help me out with this?
Yeah.
And it's just the expectation that someone's going to pick up your slack.
Yeah.
That really grinds my gears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, like, what were you saying earlier? Like about the food, I feel like you saying you'd feel guilty about it. Sure. But I think also you would try to consciously try to contribute in other ways. You know what I mean? Like if I don't know, maybe you would spend a bit more time cleaning if you felt like I was taking more up on this. At the end of the day, it's kind of just like a personal integrity thing.
Yeah.
And I think like if you can get along with people that you live, you can expect the same level of effort. And I mean, there's so many factors, right? It's like how often you're at school, what are your extracurriculars, how much time can you spend, and then also like certain levels of self need to do whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot of different factors.
For sure.
Is this guy coming down here? What?
No. There's a road there.
Yeah.
Just no signal. Or he's just stopping.
Oh. Talk about AI.
Oh yeah, civil or AI?
I'm definitely going into a civil job.
Yeah.
I really just see my AI as like, I'd like it to be something that I can apply, and maybe not like physically myself apply, but have the knowledge of to apply when I'm in the industry, be able to integrate it, because there's definitely a lot of potential.
Yep. Elgin
Hall. I think, doesn't this road follow all the way to the bridge?
I think that, I don't know if there's a walking path. I know if you go back out to Richmond, did they close the bridge over there, or? Okay.
Well, Elgin Hall isn't on, so like, we're right here. Yeah. If you just follow this, Elgin Hall is the residence right here, and there is a parking lot. So if you're going, it'll just
go here this way.
Yeah, and then it'll be your left,
awesome.
And then you'll hit an intersection. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
Walk down this way.
Yeah, I was thinking like.
Yeah, I just know it was just a walking path over here. So that's the only way that, like, there's a little, I guess it does hit another road.
We go up to Ross Park. How long have we been walking for? It's been about an hour.
It has been 57 minutes.
Okay.
I've been looking for a place to take a leak.
Oh, I mean.
But now we're back at, well, I guess we're going to go towards campus.
I thought we could walk through campus, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too loud, but I mean, all the roads are closed off. So. I thought that was John for a second.
John Sutherland?
Yeah.
Dude, I could not see John Sutherland going out for a run.
He has a place in Grand Bend.
Does he actually?
Yeah. I was up at the cottage with...
Did you see him there?
Yeah, he was just walking by one day. It was crazy.
Like your cottage?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even notice him because I hadn't taken the class yet, but all of the second years, I was with Leah, Adam, and someone, I think like Will, one of Adam's friends, but Leah recognized him immediately. I was like, that's John. And so I talked to him. after like surveying one class. I'm like, "Do you have a place in Grandma?" And he's like, "Yeah." And those lectures that he recorded,
Those were in
yeah, those were out
in your little community there?
yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. I thought that was pretty nuts.
That's funny.
He was just walking by one day. I thought that was like what? Small world.
Yeah. How often do you had people up there? Or was it last year?
The
year before?
This was
This summer?
no last summer when you came up.
Okay, yeah.
I just had them up one time, and then I've had you up the one time.
And then the second time when you weren't there.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, normally my sister and my brother are people to invite others.
How are your sister and brother doing?
They're pretty good. It's odd with my brother because he is not book smart, but I would consider himself very street smart. But in ways, like I feel like I'd consider him in the moment more successful than me. Like he has much more like immediate success in terms of like jobs and working. I mean, sure he's doing, construction, but he has like his inn and he's been fairly consistent with that. He's taking business. I consider himself like a smart guy, but I just don't think he puts in as much effort as he needs to. And he's always struggled learning.
A bare minimum type of thing? Or
yeah, but I think a part of it is a bit of a lack of care and just mentality. I think he's just one of those people that really needs direction with a lot of things. Like he does really well. My friend Carson, who I was friends with like pretty well growing up. Carson's an interesting guy, but he's very, very driven. So with a lot of things, like he's like a very like dedicated learner when he becomes passionate in this thing. Like I talk about like my road cycling. He is like, I don't know, he like started it his first year and then he entered in like a term or a race and he came like third, like immediately. Like he just go on like single subjects. Yeah. And he tries to be very like money conscious as well. Like Carson's always like, I need like my current money needs to be into something that I can like, make a profit on. So he's always like buying and selling like used cars to like for a profit. Like he's like all my like money transactions are with the idea in mind that I'll be getting something in the future. Yeah. And like he recently bought himself like an Audi, which is like, or isn't an Audi? 4 circles, that's Audi?
Yeah, that's Audi.
Yeah, he bought himself like an Audi RS4 or something, or S4.
Huh.
It's like a 30K. Yeah, like good for him. He's gonna sell it in like a year probably, but
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been with like my brother quite a bit, and I feel like my brother's been seeing quite a bit of success in the gym at least, and kind of trying to keep his mindset towards the future. In terms of school, I don't know if my brother just sees like the need of getting a degree too much, which is completely fine, but
yeah,
I don't know. He's never like really put too much effort in school, just all the way through. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
I wonder if that's like an influence from me just because I've always been very successful in school, but at the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like, I feel that definitely.
Yeah.
My 2 older brothers, like, it's a very weird, like, dynamic difference. In fact, you got 2 younger siblings.
Yeah.
I got 2 older siblings.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, my oldest brother was, like, really, really book smart in school and, like, cared about it and put in the work.
Yeah.
So, he was always high 90s averages, getting all the rewards, accolades, scholarships. And then my middle brother is a lot less inclined. He basically would be like, all right, I'm not going to be at that level.
Yeah.
So it's basically, what's the bare minimum I can do to keep my parents off my back? And then I just saw that mentality and I was like, all right, I just got to beat him in the slightest way to keep my parents even more off my back.
Yeah.
And it's like a competitive type.
Yeah.
Like race almost. And yeah, it's weird. My middle brother is definitely in the same sort of boat. He's not very driven. Like he's very bare minimum to keep like off your back and not very driven to find a job or do anything.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's just, you either one day have the realization, I got to get my shit together, or you don't.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had that pretty early, and I'm lucky, I guess, but I've also been like trying to, if you're dissatisfied in any way, you have to like immediately jump on it and like figure out why and how you cannot be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's something I've been trying to do more, you know?
Yeah. And then my sister, I think she's going to go into like some type of science. I don't think she wants to do engineering because she doesn't really enjoy physics too much. I always thought she was going to be like very strange. She always had like the like short haircut, like pushed to one side, kind of like emo girl type cut. But she turned out great. She's like, I mean, she'll be going into university next year, which is like, what the fuck? Oh,
in grade 12 now?
Yeah. But yeah, she's like a very popular person in school and stays fairly active. She's like on the high school volleyball team, so doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's also like distance. I think COVID was really difficult on my family. And like we were just going through
across the street,
other stuff. Well, which way are we walking through?
I'm gonna go through this way. I just want to stop at Talbot.
Oh yeah.
A little leak. Pause this.
Sounds
and then
good.
Resume it after.
Hopefully it's open.
Do you have your student card?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, because I did not bring my wallet. I need my wallet on this walk.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, it's must have been going pretty long. It's a pretty good one.
Do you have like awkward pauses in the first few ones? Just don't know what to talk about, or
it's a good question.
Just first.
We're back. I think we had one. We had Zidicus in there at least. I don't know if we had him last year though.
Yeah. Well, Zidicus was second. Yeah. Yeah, for the tutorial.
Yeah.
I went to that like twice maybe.
Yeah.
Go up the middle. That feels pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I was going to say about like sports injuries and stuff, and just like, I guess in general, like in terms of learning, like, I don't know about like mentally learning, but our bodies as well for learning, like we're past the elastic stage, you know, veering off the Young's modulus, and we're hitting the plastic stage in terms of learning, and even our bodies, like, I feel like that's important to like keep ourselves healthy so we can stay at the peak and not start to decline, because
the decline just gets faster and faster as you get older, so you just got to keep on it.
Yeah. So
that's why I've been on that like bodybuilding, powerlifting, strength training grind for a long time.
Yeah.
And I haven't really had any reason to not.
Yeah.
Like I've been making good progress, I think, on that. But I feel like if you think of it as like, I always try to conceptualize my skills as like in like a video game.
Yeah.
Where if I like clicked on my fitness tab, it'd be like strength and bodybuilding would be at like an 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my stretching, my cardio, my everything else would be at like 50s.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's a lot easier for me to do the stuff that I'm an 80 at to get incrementally better, but it would be more valuable for me to do the stuff that I'm like 50s at.
Yeah.
And so dude, it'd be so fun to make like a personal app where it's like you're rating got all your ratings, so you can like be like, okay, I got to work on this 50 strength today.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, it's also like,
that's how I conceptualize like
if you see importance of like increasing a weakness, or do you think it's more important to focus on your strength? And each one has like its own benefit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I think me personally, I like to make myself as well-rounded as possible. Yeah, let's go around.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to make myself as well-rounded as possible. I definitely like to specialize in certain things. If I'm doing something, I want to do it at like the highest level I can.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do everything at a high level, which
Yeah.
kind of sucks. That's why I like
Yeah.
climbing, because you can do that at your own pace. And then Frisbee, I just picked that because I was already fairly good at it, but I wouldn't be playing varsity. I know, like, maybe if I wanted to be more well-rounded in sports, I'd do intramurals, but you wouldn't get that competitiveness, you know?
Yeah. Intramurals is like, I've not had a good time with intramurals. Just based on purely injuries.
Rough patch for sure.
Yeah.
Played a lot of spike ball in the summer. Spike ball is actually so much fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could try playing squash, but I just don't know how you would feel about that with your knee.
No, I think because that's also a lot of pivots, like quick movements.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
So,
Not your style.
no, not quite yet. Like my knee is getting a lot better. Like I can. It's the issues with it right now is not its stability or its strength.
Yeah.
Well, sort of its strength because it has gotten a lot weaker. Considering the year and whatever that I haven't been doing anything or just under a year. Anything serious at least. But it's more if I'm doing something for like a run for whatever, the next few days are just like hell on my knees.
Yeah.
Of just like a little bit of swelling and that little bit of pain that stays.
Yeah.
Like I played softball over the summer.
Uh-huh.
There's not too much running, but there's a little bit, especially as outfield.
Yeah.
And like I didn't have any injuries, obviously, but it was like, okay, after a particularly heavy running game, my knees would be like bothering me for 3 days.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just a little bitch, but maybe I also do have some meniscus tears that need to heal.
Yeah.
But that's why I just keep doing, before every workout, I'm back to, in the summer, when they had a fucking track with a sled, like one of those felt thing, or like fake turf grass things, and like one of those sleds you can pull. That's like really good for my knees. So I was able to do that every day before a workout. And now I'm back to doing just backwards walking on a treadmill, which is good.
Yeah.
It's not as good. But yeah, I've been very hyper-focused and hyper-vigilant on making sure my knees are okay. And I want to make sure that they're much better than they could be, or much better than they like need to be before I start doing anything. Because if I'm just like trying to find the threshold as to where I'm not getting hurt, that's not as good as if I'm like way ahead of where I need to be and then I start integrating myself back into sports.
Right. Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because sports are a lot of fun, but
yeah.
that's where I'm at. Yeah. Do you do any stretching or any meditation, anything like that?
I want to do more yoga. Like I have my yoga mat in my place, and like when I find the time, I'll just hop on a video and follow along. I like to be able to just do my own stretching. It's just been rehabilitation. So for my shins right now, and then I want to get more flexible. I think it's something that I say I'll do, and then I just kind of like forget about doing it.
Yeah,
but I
something
think
you
it's
gotta do like the gym.
Yeah, I just got to start building it into my routine. I find myself being able to create a routine very quickly, but modify it is where I struggle. So the first few weeks of school, I put that as like, okay, I need to, do this every day, and on this day I'll do my laundry. And then if I find myself off that routine, it's very like unsettling. But yeah, I like to be like, it's only just like a mental schedule thing though. So I don't know. I find that with like, do you find yourself fairly, like, I think compared to me, you're a lot more scheduled in terms of like, you'll write it down and plan it out. I'll keep my internal schedule, but in terms of like writing anything down, I don't really like do that, which is like maybe a bad thing. I think you definitely keep records of stuff a lot more consistently than me.
Yeah, I try to at least, but sometimes I'm not as effective. Like I got like a book that I could keep a schedule in, but I find it really hard as well to do like a schedule and keep it like I was thinking about this actually on one of my other episodes where I was just talking to myself about
Yeah.
what I was gonna do for my future planning for like the school year, and I thought that yeah, having a super 100% regimented day, same day every day, is not gonna work. Like it has to be at least periodized within a week.
Yeah.
That every day has its own individual day, and then you say these are the tasks that need to get done on the day. When you do them, you have like your set schedule of when your classes are, so you can kind of just fit them in wherever you see fit for that given day.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I do it. I'm not really keeping a record anymore, but I feel like having good time management skills is one of those like big movers, you would call it, like the meat and potatoes of a life that would make it successful, is having a good time management where you can say, I'm going to get this done at this time and actually get it done at that time. Would be like a skill that a lot of people, like it sounds super simple, but a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those, like I always try to do, it's a lot easier to optimize the small things than it is the big movers of like your life. Like I would say for me, at least, the big movers, health and fitness, diet, sleep, anything that you're doing for a long period of any day, that would like help you, like communication, time planning, time management, like all of those skills that you do every day. That's what I try to focus on getting better at.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to do it in your head. Like if I could get 80% of the way there doing it in my head, but I could get 100% doing it, writing it down, doing it super organized, is that extra 20% worth it? I feel like that's how you would feel about like a time management. And also, if you're super regimented, where it's, all right, every day is my, like I've got what I'm doing for every minute of every day, like how a lot of like C-suite executive, like pinnacle people, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't leave time for spontaneity.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave time for the fun twists and turns life gives you.
Yeah.
And so,
and even just small improvements, you kind of drone.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Maybe we can
go down that one. Or those ones, I mean. Whichever.
Oh, they painted this? And they painted bus only.
Let's stay up here and then walk by the wreck. That way we're just not walking through a parking lot.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Good job, civil engineer who fucking put in 3 hours of work and did whatever for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I find if I'm not writing stuff down, the odds that I forget it, I know my brain. Inevitably, I'm going to forget it, and I'm going to want to call back upon what earlier me was thinking.
Yeah.
And so if it's not written down, I'd be like, all right, now I got to replan everything out again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also find it cool as just like a nostalgic type thing. If I go back to like my second year schedule and like what you can see like what you were focused on. You can see what you were like doing. And it's, it can also like help to sort of be like, I think back to my second year times, like first term, second year, where I was like on my shit. Like that's probably my pinnacle of like improvement rate. And I can just look back there and see what I was doing and start like implementing that sort of thing again.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because like school changes though, and we're going from a much more structured way of learning to, maybe a bit more free thinking.
Yeah.
Like even like with design, like that's probably going to be our most structured class, right? Concrete design. It's still like design will have your own implications. And then project management, I feel like that's going to be, completely individual. And then when we get into ethics, it's literally just what do you think about the situation?
Yeah.
And what's like maybe the proper way to think about it, or what people would consider proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I feel like school it's so much easier than anything else, given that you're, even with these types of more free thinking stuff, you have your project basically designed for you. Like your project, like there's constraints on it, which, in life maybe you will, but if you're starting to do something on your own, like there's no constraints on what you can do. Like there's that's why I like side projects so much more than school projects, because it's, you get to conceptualize the problem and you get to solve it yourself, and the world gets to tell you how valuable it is. You know what I mean? Instead of the world gets to design your problems, you give it your best shot at fixing it, and the world tells you how good you did. Like,
that's definitely, like, I think you are more successful in that mindset compared to me. I was gonna ask, what drives you to learn the most? I feel like I didn't really give too good of an answer to that, but I guess we've been talking about it.
What drives me to learn the most?
Yeah, well, you were asking me, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
what makes me want to learn?
That's shifted over the times. I feel like right now it's just, I am terrified of mediocrity.
Okay.
That was always my standard in high school.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's like, why was that? Why did I think that it's just okay to be just the middle?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just be the average baseline. Like, I look at what the average person is, and it's like, man, to me, that is not how I want to be living. That just sounds like it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, the average person is $1,000 in debt, overweight, whatever. And I just want to be, if I want to be exceptional, I got to do things that are the exception, that are not the standard to other people. So I like to live by my own standards. And that's, this is a lot of stuff that I just learned from other people. That's why I try to be diligent with the content I'm consuming online, to be like upward aiming people that I can also aim towards. And if I'm constantly taking that in and I'm constantly trying to make that my environment, it's inevitable that I'm going to go upwards. And but I think the drive comes from just not wanting to be mediocre.
Well, do you consider yourself mediocre? Like, personally, me, everybody does it, like comparing yourselves to other people. I hate comparing myself. I do it, it's kind of like what we do. But for me personally, I hate the comparison. Whenever somebody brings up like, oh, you're so good at this, or like, oh, you're so good at everything. Like, I've heard like Christian and Kyle say that. It's like, everything that you do, you're good at. And it's like, I hate when people say that, because it's just like
you just don't,
like a comparison thing.
Just let them say that. You don't need to apply it. Like,
exactly.
That's like it must be nice. Like, it must be nice to have this as your problems.
Yeah.
It must be nice to, like, someone else has got it worse and is doing better than you, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And the comparison game it's a very futile game to play.
Yeah.
And I always try not to, but it's like a dichotomy you have to manage, because I feel like for us though, we are like, the comparison game is not a game you want to play, but it also depends how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm comparing myself to like Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Then I think that's it's a stupid comparison, and it's not necessarily worth it.
Yeah.
But you're not comparing yourself to like a crackhead on the street and being like, oh, I'm doing so great, even though like maybe stuff isn't going as well for you. Everyone's biggest problem, like, you have your biggest problem in your life. I have my biggest problem in my life. Warren Buffett has his biggest problem in his life. The crackhead down the street has their biggest problem. Everyone has their biggest problem in their life. There's no sense in comparing it.
Yeah.
That's like meeting someone that's like they're a one-upper. Like, they always got to one-up you.
Yeah.
Like, with whatever they're doing. It's like, it's a stupid game to play. It's it doesn't give you anything. Like if the comparison game gives you drive, I would say that's worth it. Sometimes in a short term, like it's not good to like have that as like your baseline maybe. But if it's used to drive you, I feel like that can be helpful. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's something that I definitely think about a lot.
Yeah.
And I try not to, but it's like with marks. I've gotten less and less inclined to like in high school, it was always, oh, what did you get? What did you get? What did you get?
Yeah.
Like, it's always that game.
I feel guilty sometimes saying my marks because I
Dude.
know I score well.
Yeah, me too. I feel the same way now. Because I used to be, like when I met you, I was a fucking high 70, low 80 student.
Yeah.
And now I'm mid 90 student.
Yeah.
And
hey, you're probably performing better than I am in terms of grades.
That's a direct comparison.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It really doesn't matter. And I like the frame, but I'll know where you're working on a project and okay, yeah, this is like good enough to submit. I've put in 2 hours, but I know that I could have done more.
Yeah.
I know that this isn't my all. This isn't as good as I could be.
Yeah.
I could do more on this.
Yeah.
It's like that, but I'll know type thing where if I was doing like a presentation and everyone was like, oh, you're really good at presenting, and I don't think that I even put in enough work, that praise is like, it means nothing because I don't feel satisfied with it. Or if I do put in my all on something that I'm not very good at, like this podcast, if I put in my all and no one likes it, everyone thinks it's shit, I don't care. I'll know that I liked it and I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
So you just can't put your satisfaction in like the lives of others. Like,
yeah. It's slippery though, like the all know thing. I find myself, I think personally I'm very, very hard on myself. Maybe I don't like voice it enough, but like even like stupid little mistakes. Like yesterday I missed the bus and I was like, okay, I gotta go grab my bike. And I had my bike and I had it in the elevator and I get to the first floor and I'm like, I didn't even grab my bike lock. And I just like, I'll beat myself up on like stuff like that for like 30 minutes or like, doing a project. I forgot to, I don't know, number the pages or something. Like,
well,
I just didn't put in enough effort or I didn't put in enough thought into something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. If I'm climbing and I put in 30 minutes into a route and I mess up, I can't finish it. And then I watch one guy and he climbs it a different style or he does a different move. And I'm like, why the fuck am I not thinking like that? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all, I think
weird.
it's better to be hard on yourself than soft on yourself. But it's like I've heard, like, I feel like this 100%. It's like you got two voices in your head. And if your dominant one is that I call it the tyrant and the bitch.
Yep.
Where it's one voice that's just constantly berating you for not being enough, not doing enough, not putting enough in.
Yeah.
You could be doing more. Get like your ass up. Like, that's the tyrant. And then you've got the bitch that's like, oh, you've done enough. Just go have a nap, go sleep, go watch some videos, do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just fully give yourself over to the bitch, you're going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
If you fully give yourself over to the tyrant, you're never going to be happy.
Yeah.
So it's always just a management thing that I don't even know if it's like, I think it is worth thinking about every once in a while to be like, am I in a bitch mode or am I in like an unsatisfying like tyrant mode? But I feel like it's also, you can go through seasons of both. If I went through 3 weeks of a tyrant season to get something done like on point, do it really well, and then give myself like a few days to recover to the bitch voice, then that's like good. It's always like the measurement, like I would say the world gives you the measurement 6 days on, 1 day off, or 5 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah.
But like you can extrapolate that over months, years, like 5 months on, 2 months off.
Mm-hmm.
where like people always say work-life balance. That is work-life balance.
Yeah.
You're 5 months on, 2 months off.
Yeah.
So it's all like how you want to do it. And I feel like what it comes down to in all of my discussions is just, what are you aiming at?
Uh-huh.
Are you aiming to like give yourself just the most pleasure in life? Like, you could do that. Some people do that.
Yeah.
I'm not aiming to do that. That's something that I find that in the last 2, 3, 5 years, however long you want to go back, I've given myself enough pleasure for like 20 years worth of just like being on my phone or playing Fortnite, like
Yeah.
8 hours, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's enough pleasure to last me like a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I just start feeling more guilty and more guilty, giving myself over to the pleasure voice or the bitch voice.
Yeah.
And I just kind of let the tyrant take over a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all just a managed. You just gotta manage what's going on.
Yeah.
And have defined goals and timelines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know.
Drink.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely find myself getting hard on myself a lot.
Would you
Even with problems that maybe I can't control. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another big thing. Like the being like this. I think the Stoics have a good philosophy in the sense of, if you can't control it, you're wasting your time and mind power thinking about it.
Yeah.
Something
Control
like
is
that.
interesting. It's hard to figure out how much you can actually control
Yeah.
in your day-to-day lives.
Yeah. How much do you think life happens to you versus you happen to life?
Yeah.
That's something that I think about a little bit. And
Yeah.
I try to do more and more I'm happening to life.
Yeah.
But in reality, right now, it is a lot more life happening to me than
Yeah.
I'm happening to life.
Definitely.
But it's, at the same time, you could compare it to you yesterday. How much did life happen? Like when you were a baby, life just happened to you. And it's like over time, you just get more and more control, or you don't. Like you can relinquish it and you can take it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just like frames
Yeah.
of how you see it. But do you see, like, do you think that you also have like two different voices in your head where it's like one's a tyrant, one's like...
I guess so. I've never really thought about it structured like that. I don't know. I've never really thought about like voices in my head, like a good versus a bad, or like a, like go-getter versus self. I've never really had that mindset.
How do you think about it?
Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I see myself as an individual. And if I think about like, I think right now definitely my mind is a little more like structured and moving forward. Whereas I think like last year, second semester, I was all about like, just get through this, kind of do what I want. I can fuck off a bit. Even through the summer, I was like, I'll just fuck off. I think it comes in waves for me. And I don't know if that's just a voice changing, but I get to the point where it's like, I need to be like prepared to support myself for the future. And I see it as like a constant, like maturing thing. Like when you're a kid, you're always going to rely on more. And as I grow older, more and more, I become self-dependent. Like even now I feel so like dependent on my past and, my family for like, I don't know, like financial things. Like I would not be at Western if it wasn't for, my family. My like end goal is to be able to get like fully independent and, support myself and support my future, being my kids and my family. And then give back a bit. I think that's something I really want to be able to do is like give to my friends and my family.
To be a supportive, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of where I would like to end up. I think I want to be the person that people can, depend on for anything, really.
Yeah. One thing that...
Just be wise,
Yeah, be that wise old owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I think of, I like this frame. Maybe it's not a good frame, but like, if your goal in life is like, be the strongest person at your father's funeral. So that's going to be all the people that you care about would be there, and you're like the person that's like strong enough to like be depended upon even in the hardest times of your life.
Yeah.
And you just got to build up the characteristics to be able to get there.
Yeah.
Over life.
And I don't know. I see that as like maybe just trying to treat myself right in the right moments. You can, come over a hardship and then you're saying like either listen to one voice or another. I try to just figure out like what I feel I need most in that moment. And I don't see that as like a battle between one or another. It's just kind of what I see in the moment, I guess. I mean, like you could compare it as like one or the other, but I just see it as like, this happened, I really, there's part of me that's like, I get, I can see it as like parts. There's part of me that's like, I need to push through this and I need to just maybe ignore it. And then there's another part that's like, okay, it's been rough, take a break, But it's more just like, what do I see as more beneficial moving forward? Will I regret not trying to like move forward and keep pushing? Yeah. Is okay a good time now to take a break, or do I need to keep focusing on this? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that made much sense. I always have that worry that when I'm talking, I'm just like completely mumbling. Because I had one interview last year for the like transportation thing. Like I couldn't really answer the questions because it was kind of a bunch of bullshit, like going off the like transportation research stuff. Because like I feel like I really didn't do anything. Like sure, I learned a lot in like a specialized thing, but it was like I was looking at like code. I don't know. I see code as like so dumb sometimes. Like just like lines on a screen that I don't know. I can make like a car drive on a screen that's like completely fictitious. Like sure, it'll get you data for whatever, but I don't know. I think that's why I appreciate civil a lot more. It's because you feel and see the results. It is tangible. It is real. And sure, that stuff can build to be something real, but it's so fictitious at the moment. Same with AI. I think it's so fictitious in terms of like what do you see right now that AI is really doing besides experimental kind of like project-y things, right? You have ChatGPT, which is like great, but I see it as like it itself is like, I personally right now I use it as like a extension and like a refinement of Google, where I've built it to a point where it can teach me stuff in a way that I like to learn more efficiently rather than me having to Google something, find the right article, click on a link, and then read, and then maybe go to like different other spots. It can also help me like, maybe voice myself better in terms of like writing or structure myself. ChatGPT is definitely like the most successful AI thing, and I think it will be for a really, really long time. But I mean, compared to that, you see generative AI just being like built off of something like that. It can make images, but would you consider those images good? I think personally
they're getting better and better and better really quickly.
They are, but like I always see it as like, it's not going to like create exactly what you're looking for. You still need to put in your personal touch if you want to like really get what you're looking for or see your vision.
I think the biggest thing with AI is just speed. It just does stuff
Yeah,
faster.
it's just efficient.
Yeah, it's got lots of limitations with creativity and
But like, let's say we're looking at like a civil project, civil AI. Would you trust an AI to go and like, like allocate different funds for like a project? Like we need this much in manual labor, this much in materials.
not yet.
This is our
but
time frame.
It would be cool to build one and just it's like having a little co-op student, little bitch
Yeah.
for you that say it comes back to you with a proposed solution.
You can
You as the
modify it.
engineer look it over and are either like, yeah, this is actually not too bad. I can just change this small thing, or be like, okay, this is just completely missed the mark,
Yeah.
and then retrain it. It's literally like a student
Yeah.
that will eventually be able to overtake you maybe, and you can just start it off as like, it's basically just a co-op student
Yeah.
that doesn't really know what it's doing. It's trying its best. It's quite efficient, quite quick. Can get you a result that maybe you're looking for, maybe not, and then you have the responsibility to look it over, fix it where it needs to be fixed,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I find that interesting from like a business perspective. There hasn't really been any like concrete like things that have been developed that you could introduce and implement as an industry standard. Do you know what I mean?
What? No, elaborate on that.
Like, have there been any apps that like people go and it's like this is like AI powered, or like you get this information AI generated?
For
There's
civil?
well, like just for any company in general. I don't think there's like any company that's like,
Well, every company likes to put AI in bullshit.
yeah,
Like, it's like Amazon got exposed for calling something AI when it was just a center in India with like 100 people working around the clock.
yeah.
I don't think AI is there yet, but
It's
I
very
think that
experimental. Yeah.
there's reports that on AI, basically just a computer program for fighter pilots
Yeah.
in dogfights, 100% kill rate on real pilots.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's
I haven't heard about that. I gotta.
no, it's yeah, you can look into it. It's I heard it on motherfucking Joe Rogan. So
Yeah.
I don't know how. I'd never really fact checked it, but sounds like something that would be real at this point. Militaries would 100% use this sort of technology first. That's how a lot of things come to be. And AI in military is kind of a terrifying concept. Yeah, it sucks in our applications, but we don't have necessarily the brightest minds focused or working on this
Yeah.
right now to solve these problems.
Yeah.
That's why I find it to be a really cool opportunity for us, where it is sort of like a blue ocean in terms of business, where not many people are focused on this right now. And there is an opportunity to grow with the AI community, because a lot of people are focused on AI in general, just not this niche.
Yeah.
And you can use concepts from general AI and just refine it down to what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess at the end of it, that's kind of why I want to pursue a civil path. Like if I'm open to be able to like let's say I get a job as like a project manager or some kind of higher up in a construction company, and then this company comes along, hey, blah blah blah, and like I would know, I feel like I would know if their thing is bullshit or if something's implementable, or even like if I'm on a project and you find there's this big data source of information, it's like how could that information actually be useful? Because I feel like so much data is just collected and kind of like it's just collected.
That's like I talked to Shima. Remember the big AI meeting? And I asked Shima, are we going to have any classes where it's just learning how to collect data relevantly?
Yeah.
Because everything we're doing, even in time series, it's all data that exists already that we need to find and use.
Yeah.
It's not there's nothing yet where you have to create your own data.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I think personally that like I was going back to like learning styles and what motivates you to learn. You're a more like collective person, like even like recording this podcast, that's data that you're collecting, right?
Yeah.
I personally don't do that. I'll like I don't know. I guess I write stuff down in my book when I'm taking notes, but everything is like in my mind, I'd say, in terms of the information that I deem worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like to keep everything very internal like that, but might be a good practice to start. Like even just like you can consider this a data collection method. Could you do
Yeah.
something with these audio logs?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's all those voice AIs
Yeah.
that can take voices and recreate stuff.
Start recording your own podcast without you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think you'd want to do that. But
No.
be interesting.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
well, bring this in the land. Do this again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. We
was
could make
fun.
this a weekly or bi-weekly thing.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know.
right, signing off.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
Of course.